Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to briefly give you an introduction to chapter 2 of the Vedic Astrology Beginners course. So it comprises of 9 parts, as you can see, 9 different podcasts there. Number 1, the light of Jyotirvidya. Number 2, the Guru tradition, Guru and Shishya, the teacher and the student tradition, which is the traditional path of transmission of knowledge in this particular Jyotirvidya, the science of Vedic astrology. The third one gives you an introduction to Sanskrit as the divine language of Jyotish. Fourth, the holistic vision, the Sankhya philosophy and cosmology and how they are related, and I shall speak about this more. Number 5, karma, the great law. We shall deal with this within the context of each one of the courses chapters as we go along, because karma has to be understood in a broader context rather than the narrow perspectives that people hold right now. Number 6, integrating consciousness and psychology. Number 7, the living science beyond mere prediction. Number 8, embracing the tradition. And 9th, Vedic astrology as the light within. Let's speak about the Guru Shishya tradition within Jyotish. Everything within the Vedic tradition is based on the teacher and the student. And all of Vedic language or Vedic literature and Vedic cosmology, if you want, in this context, is centered around a student and teacher dialogue or questioning. So what does the tradition mean in terms of Vedic astrology? Why is it important for you to have a good teacher or a guru in order for you to learn? As per this tradition, number 1, Jyotish is paravidya. Now this term means transcendental knowledge. Anything in Sanskrit which has a prefix para means it is transcendental. Okay? Paravidya means knowledge of something beyond this dimension, beyond the physicality of it. Essentially, it means that. So unlike empirical sciences, Jyotish is rooted in spiritual cosmology. That's the important term there. Dealing with time or kala, karma or destiny or the path or what you're walking consciously as an embodied soul in this lifetime. And consciousness is chaitanya. Whatever is in brackets is in Sanskrit word, okay? It's not just about planets and charts, but understanding the rhythm of life and soul evolution. Now, I have covered this in many different playlists on the channel. You can go through that. Soul, we speak often of the soul, but soul is such an abstraction. It can only be studied in this dimension in the relation with rest of them. What is your relationship with the rest of the world? Be it human or non-human world. Okay? That is the science of Jyotish. That is a transcendental knowledge. Because of this, it cannot be fully grasped through books or academic study alone. This is where people find themselves. Many of the people who have come to me for consultation, they say, Arun, we have an interest in Vedic astrology, we don't know where to begin. Hence this entire course. This is just a beginner's course, okay? It requires initiation or diksha, guidance and intuitive transmission which the guru imparts over time. Critical word I would feel there is over time. This has to be learned step by step. And I say this with some degree of irritation, if you might. I've seen so many YouTube channels of good Jyotish out there on the YouTube. Yeah, they're all imparting knowledge in their own way. And the comments are very funny because students come and say, I have got Ketu in the 5th house and Jupiter in blah 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 house, and what does this mean? You cannot study Jyotish or Vedic astrology in isolation of 1 or 2 planets. It's like trying to understand the elephant blindfolded by catching its tail and telling it this is a monkey. Okay? You have to understand the whole drill. You have to understand the larger parts of how this fits in. Right? Number 2, the role of Guru, a living embodiment of Shastra. Now, Shastra in Sanskrit means a discipline, something that requires slow, methodical study, the Shastra. Jyotirvidya is also called as Jyotish Shastra. The guru in Jyotish is not just a teacher, but a channel of lineage, sampradaya. Sampradaya means that which is passed down your tradition from your ancestral lineage. All the Vedic tradition, if you might, are passed down from your ancestors. The Indians carry it in their DNA, literally, and it awakens at some point. This is why we find so many gurus in India, because it is in the DNA. Often holding decades of tapasya. Tapasya means inner meditation. It can be in the form of silence, it can be in the form of internal preponderance, reflection, and so on and so forth. Observation and scriptural wisdom. So there are three parts to this. You have to meditate on Jyotish, you have to observe different charts and study them. Also, you have to have the wisdom to transpose it in order to get the wider view. Don't try to observe Jyotish in terms of planets, see in terms of wider view. And that's what my attempt with this is. The guru or your teacher should not merely teach techniques. They should awaken the eye of Shishya, that's why Jyotish, to perceive the planetary language behind the visible world. It's like trying to study the canvas before you actually get to the painting. The entire science of Vedic astrology should be about learning the language of the canvas. What is your life painted against? What's the background canvas upon which your personality or your painting rests upon? Much like in classical music, which is the science of Swarga or Ayurveda, the living voice of the guru tailors each teaching to the unique dharmic path or mental constitution of the disciple. And you see how you are reconfiguring the student with the help of your teacher. Find a guru if you want. Doesn't matter which the guru is, whoever you resonate with. It's very complex to get into that. Each one resonates with a certain kind of teacher. I mean, even in mainstream, you might have seen that. You like some teachers, you resonate with their understanding, how they teach, how they deliver the knowledge. Some you don't. It's too complex to analyze that. Just go along with whom you resonate. Number 3, and this is very crucial, Jyotish is experiential, not just theoretical. This is where it differs from all other forms of occult out there. You will experience Jyotish. You will literally start seeing with your internal eyes the entire world and everything around you, even your relations with human beings and the inanimate world, as the effect of the planets, effect of time, and effect of space. It's not a theoretical knowledge. So Jyotish has really got to grow inside you, so to speak. And you blend into the knowledge. It's a living form of knowledge. Much of astrology, yogas, dashas, remedial measures require not just logic, but experiential understanding and pattern recognition. This is where even artificial intelligence helps, because it's a machine designed to do pattern recognition, which only develops through years of practice and subtle observation under a guru's watchful eye. In this day and age, of course, you'll be fortunate if you get a good guru whom you resonate with, because each one has their own human personality, which is like an overlay, right? Pick whoever you want, give them the due diligence and due respect, and learn from them what you can. But you should be able to derive this. It should become an experience for you rather than something you study in a university, for example. Without the guru, there is a risk of misinterpreting charts, karmic implications, or spiritual timing, especially when dealing with sensitive topics like health, death, or spiritual direction. Point number 4, preservation of authenticity across time. Now, Jyotish or Vedic astrology and everything in Vedas, nobody even in India can tell you, or in the world for that matter, can tell you how old this is, or who are these rishis and ancestors who gave us this beautiful, beautiful tradition to lead life as a well-rounded human being to begin with. Let's not even get to the spiritual part yet. Let's just try to live the best we can, right? So how to hold the authenticity of the science across time? One of the reasons is because it is passed directly as a verbal word, as a word directly from the teacher to the student. Not so much about written texts. texts. There have been plenty of written texts, obviously, but the most fundamental or the most secretive aspects of Vedic astrology till date is passed from teacher to student in the form of words, not written texts. The Guru Shishya tradition acts as a living archive of oral traditions, rare manuscripts, and intuitive secrets. Rahasya. Rahasya means a secret in Sanskrit that may not be codified in modern texts or software. Many classical treatises like the Brihat Parashara Hura Shastra or BPHS, Jatak Parijata or Saravali are interpreted through Guru Vakya, oral interpretation, not literal translation. Why does this happen, you might ask? Okay, well, my experience with this, with doing 2 courses with 2 gurus back to back, is that when the teacher speaks about Jyotish, or if you attend courses online, there are plenty of them, good teachers out there, okay? When they are speaking, it triggers certain intuitive awareness in you, which will be very unique to you. You can't compare it to the next student even. You realize and get epiphanies around Vedic astrology as you move forward. When you don't understand why, that's when it becomes a living knowledge. This is the power of having a good teacher or guru in Vedic astrology. You just know somehow. That's the paravidya factor, sort of the transcendental aspect of Jyotish. Number 5, and this is very important, Saturnian maturity, slow unfolding of Jyotish wisdom. Again, this is where I see comments on different YouTube Vedic astrology channels and I have a laugh, literally, because people are trying to understand Jyotish, which is like understanding calculus without understanding basic mathematics. Yes, it's not possible. I can't go to a high school student who's still learning basic mathematics and tell him, sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. He will not even know what trigonometry is. Okay? Don't try to understand Jyotish in terms of singular ways, in terms of just one planet sitting in one house. That would be a waste of your time. You might as well get on with something else. Jyotish is Saturn ruled in many ways. It requires patience, all Saturnian qualities, right? Patience, hard work, humility, discipline, and detachment. This is what Saturn teaches essentially. Slow and patient learning through time. Not be rushed about it. Don't try to become a predictive astrologer overnight. That's not the goal anyway. Okay? The goal is to help you realize where your soul light shines upon. So the guru helps the Shishya, or the teacher helps the student bear the weight of Saturn by grounding them emotionally and spiritually. Any knowledge, be it even mainstream science or mathematics, is grounded only over time. Even if you do your double or triple PhDs, unless you implement it in the real world and see the mistakes there and then recalibrate from there, you're not going to learn anything properly, isn't it? Experience is required. At the same time, the guru is required. Without that, knowledge can become, astrology especially, can become just intellectual or predictive tool. This is where I see the sad part. Many Jyotishis also practicing this way. They just use it as a predictive tool when in fact there is so much more. If I just give you a piece of apple pie and say this is all the dessert there is in the world, when actually there is so much more, you become divorced from its dharmic, karmic and moksha based roots. What are you as a human being evolving into? Okay? That's what it should teach. That's the true gift of Jyotish. Last one on this, inner alignment. Jyotish is as much about self as it is about others. And this is where I focus my efforts in revealing the concepts of Jyotish, with more about you. Since you and your family, starting from your parents, siblings, friends, neighbors, the world, everyone, your culture you're born in, everybody has a chart. Yes, obviously. So every person is just relative to one another. There is no absolutes. Each one has a chart of their own. So each one is just acting out of the narrow lens of their own chart. It's obvious. So Jyotish is as much about you. If you can manage yourself better, you can manage even others better. You and I both know Jyotish isn't just a reader of charts. They are a mirror for people's hopes, griefs, and potential. And my hope is that whoever comes here and participates has this at the base. I hope you're coming here to learn to relieve people from their griefs, from troubles, maybe health, maybe relationships, maybe jobs, maybe any aspect of life, and give them some hope. The Guru ensures that the Shishya first aligns their own inner planets, cleansing the mind, manas, manas is the Sanskrit term, strengthening intuition, antardrishti, the inner vision. This is what Vedic Astrology, if you participate with it, will recalibrate your antardrishti, and observing personal karma before guiding others. First, get to know your own light and dark. First, get to understand the light and shadow parts of your own personality, please. Okay? Then we'll get to the remaining people. If you don't understand yourself, you will not be a very good guide to others, yes? Now I want to talk to you about Jyotish, the science of Vedic astrology, and Sankhya philosophy. What's the interlock there? What's the connection between Jyotish and Sankhya? Now, these days we have fantastic tools like artificial intelligence where you can sit and research this if you want. You can go to any depth you like. But here I'm trying to make a connection between Vedic astrology and the Sankhya philosophy. So let's start. Consciousness-centric universe. The Sankhya philosophy within the entire Vedic tradition teaches us that the material universe is the evolution of two forces or two primordial forces of existence. Prakriti, under the reflection of Purusha, the two forces being Prakriti and Purusha. You can also call this Shiva and Shakti. Shiva being Purusha and Prakriti being Shakti. That's the primordial male and female aspects of the universe, which combinedly create this entire universe. That's the principle of Sankhya, to wrap it up. The planets or grahas, as they are called, are not just physical masses but conscious intelligences. Chaitanya. Chaitanya means that which you perceive. The aspect of the mind, there are many aspects. One is the manas, the buddhi, and there is the chaitanya, the perception, how your intelligence perceives things, and functioning within the web of karma, the cause and effect, whatever is left in the akash. Jyotish becomes the bridge between consciousness and manifestation, interpreting how your soul's journey as Purusha, the soul being the Purusha, expresses through matter which is Prakriti. So, like I said, in my finding with Jyotish, you are the absolute soul, yes? So you're looking at your own birth chart, let's say. And you got all these 27 nakshatras, the 9 planets, the 12 houses, and so on and so forth. But who is the one really looking? Where are you in all this? The you is the perceiver behind your eyes. You are looking at the chart. That's you, not the chart. But you are playing out through the lens of your chart. So how Purusha or the soul, your absolute soul, expresses through this matter, the physical body, human mind, heart, everything put together in this physical world. That's what you will actually begin to see. Number 2, Tatwa mapping and the grahas. It's another aspect. Each of the Navagrahas or the 9 planets, Nava means 9, Grahas means planets. Each of the Navagrahas can be mapped to key tattvas in Sankhya. Sankhya talks about different tattvas. How is this Prakriti and Purusha playing out? What are the aspects to it? And in context to Jyotish, it is like this. Moon links to Manas or mind. Sun is linked to Ahankara or ego or the sense of self-identity. Mercury to Buddhi or discriminative intellect. Saturn to Tamas, which is inertia or karmic binding force. Mars to Kriya Shakti as an action. Jupiter, you might say, is to wisdom. Okay? Your capability to hear the truth truth can be spoken in many ways. It already has been in even multiple religions. But it depends upon the ears that are listening to the wisdom that will make all the difference, isn't it? Through this lens, planetary transits, dashas, show how different tattvas in your being get activated or purified at specific cosmic timings. That's a very powerful statement in and of itself. You can reflect a lot on that. Number 3, Sankhya's timing cosmology is Jyotish Kala Vidya. Vidya means knowledge, Kala means art. Jyotish is more like an art form of spirituality where it translates all the Vedic knowledge into how we are playing it in this space and time. Sankhya does not stop at ontology. It implies cyclical model of time, the Yuga theory, the Manvantaras, the Mahakalas, all of this you can study in detail if you want, which Jyotish uses in real time. That's how it becomes a powerful tool to understand the Sankhya. If you just study Sankhya philosophy, you will not know the connection to what it pertains to you as a living embodied soul in this lifetime. Jyotish can give you that bridge. The Mahadasha system, like the Vimshottari Dasha, there are many other, Kalchakra Dasha, there are many Dasha systems, reflects the cycles of karmic unfoldment. Your life, from the time you take the first breath till you breathe out the last time, is a process of your karmic unfoldment. Meaning what? In this context, it would mean all the memories that you carried as a soul from previous lifetimes is playing out in one form or the other, one event or the other, one relationship or the other. Okay? The transit system, Gochara means essentially even the cow. Go means cow. Chara means the one which moves. So the transit system is literally like how the cow moves. The Chara Dasha system are like dynamic expressions of Prakriti evolving under the guidance of Purusha through time. Now, through time is the important aspect. If you've followed me for some time, time is Saturn. Saturn gives us that slow, methodical progression to understand and recalibrate the karma itself. So your Purusha, your soul, is playing out through time. The 25th cosmic force, sometimes attributed to later in Sankhya commentaries. Okay? In this way, Jyotish is the practical application of Sankhya time cosmology, enabling personal navigation through collective cycles. First of all, you are there, and you are in a particular collective of these 8 billion people on the planet at this time. Jyotish should start giving you that knowledge as you participate with it, how this is tying into the global picture right now, for me, in my life. So let us see the parts of it, just to summarize on this table. Vedic cosmology, the Sankhya and Jyotish in action. So let's connect the structure with actual Vedic cosmological models using Jyotish. Now we have 3 columns here: Sankhya principle, the cosmic element in Jyotish, and interpretative relevance. So first one is Purusha. What is Purusha in terms of Jyotish? The Atma, the soul, the 12th house, the Ketu. The experiencer behind the karma. That's one. Prakriti, the Sankhya principle, is embodied in Jyotish in the form of Maya, the body, the nature, the ascendant and the moon. It's the field of manifestation where your soul is manifesting. There's this third principle of Sankhya called Mahat, or universal buddhi, or the universal mind. The cosmic element of this is the solar logos, the sun, the 10th house, which gives us the interpretation of dharma or the life's purpose. You see the broader aspect. 10th house, simply people keep calling it karma, where it ties into Sankhya philosophy. Who are you in relation to the rest of the world? Then there is ahankara, or the ego, or the I self, your embodied ego sense. You have to be having a unique standpoint in reference to space and time that you're born in. That is ahankara, which is signified in Jyotish by Sun, Mars and Lagna, or the ascendant, or the rising sign. identity and individuality. Next, manas or the mind. Manas stands for the mind or the moon or Mercury. Mercury is different aspect of the mind. Moon is a different aspect of the mind. Emotions and processing the information through your intellect. Mercury, you might call it broadly as intellectual capacity as defined by Vedic tradition. Moon is the emotional processing capacity of the mind, the fluctuations of the mind, the restlessness of the mind. Then there is the Panchabhutas, the five elements, which in Sankhya are translating in Jyotish as Rasi, the Tatwa of science, the Nakshatra, the symbols, the zodiac, which gives us basically interpretations of temperament, the body type, the disease, or the constitution. We will see more about this when we get to the Ayurveda part and tie into Jyotish. So what makes Jyotish a living science of four dimensions? Jyotish is consciousness based, not just symbol based. Now I'm trying to distinguish between Jyotish and other forms of astrology here. Unlike many forms of astrology or divination, which rely on symbolic archetypes or psychological reflection like tarot or Western astrology, Jyotish is rooted in Vedantic idea of consciousness, permeating all matter, that which is consciousness beyond just the forms. Like you and I right now who are listening, have a physical form of a human body. But there are so many creatures. There are plants, there are ants, there are dogs, cats, lions, tigers, trees, all kinds of vegetation. Consciousness is rooted in all of them as per Vedanta tradition. The grahas, planets, are sentient, karmic agents, not just archetypes in this form of astrology. Every chart is a karmic hologram. You are a karmic hologram, where time, space, and intention are encoded through lens of your soul's evolution. That's a powerful statement. I can reflect 10 days just on this statement. Meaning, you are not just reading patterns, you are not just engaging with your human personality part. Rise above that a little bit. You are engaging with cosmic intelligence that mirrors your internal state. Number 2, integrating dharma, karma, and moksha. It's spoken about a lot, the four folds of life. She'll speak of this more on the introduction to other chapters. Jyotish is not meant to just predict events. It is meant to reveal your dharma, your soul life's purpose, what you came for. It is more of decoding that. It is already there in your chart. We are trying to understand it as best as we can. Map your karma, past actions and tendencies, and the time of your moksha, liberation-oriented effects. If you tell moksha, the three water signs, right? Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, those are the moksha signs. What are they trying to tell you? Okay. No other divination system integrates these three cosmic goals with such precision and context. Very important, precision and context. Next, time as a dynamic force, not static interpretation. Jyotish uses dashas, the planetary time cycles, gochara or the transits, and muhurta or the electional timing, giving it unique ability to adapt to real-time life situations. This goes day to day, folks. This is not about what will happen in 1 or 2 months' time, or when I will get a job, or when will I make too much money. That is really a childish way. You're still in primary school then. Jyotish is taking you from that depth and taking you to a college PhD level of understanding of your life. Forecast the inner readiness as well as outer events. Prescribe timing for rituals, business, marriage, sadhana, or any other goals of life that you're looking for based on cosmic rhythms. You have to align your objectives with the cosmic time cycles. There is a time factor when something comes to fruition. It's like a tree. You plant a tree today, you don't expect a fruit tomorrow. It has its time. When you were in your mother's womb, it took 9 months to deliver you as a baby. Have some patience. Learn this step by step. Don't try to make it a YouTube shorts of some kind. Okay, it's not the way these things work. Compare this with numerology or Western astrology, where timing is either static, like an annual progression, or purely psychological. Jyotish evolves with you. That's the critical thing to remember there. Number 4. Prescriptive and preventive and remedial power of Jyotish or Vedic astrology. Jyotish is not diagnostic, it is therapeutic. Unlike tarot or I Ching, which mainly offer a reflective preponderance, Jyotish prescribes precise remedies. The mantras, the gemstones, the pujas, the danas or the donations, the vratas or the vows, everything is prescribed in order to maintain a healthy, balanced state of mind, emotion, and your very well-being. It leverages the energetic and karmic power of nakshatras, grahas, and the deities. This turns Jyotish into an actionable life management tool, not just a predictive system. Very critical to understand this. Number 5, guidance across all 4 ashramas. These are the 4-fold stages of life as defined by the Vedic system of living life. The Vedic astrology is a part of Vedangas, like I have discussed previously. Only Jyotish among the 4 major occult sciences is systematically used in childbirth, jataka, marriage, vivaha means marriage, muhurta, what time is appropriate for you to get married. Okay, and what are the matching qualities? Guna Milan means how to match the qualities. It gives you your direction in career and dharma. Based on dashas, what dashas you're going, what yogas you do possess in your chart. And this will be discussed later in the entire course and in this entire channel. The 10th house of karma, it guides you in that. This is like your manual. Your soul came into this lifetime with a user's manual called your Vedic astrology birth chart. And we are decoding that manual step by step. Retirement, sannyas or moksha timing. When it's time for you to retire, when it is time for you to do different things. Okay? It's a cradle to liberation guidance system. There you go. While other systems often remain just narrowly centered on psychological, situational or symbolic. That's the main difference. So if we take this comparative table view which is on the screen, Jyotish versus other systems, what it provides. We take the system, we take the different offerings that each system gives. Predictive, the karmic depth, the timing precision, the prescriptive action, and the spiritual aim. The human being, if you do believe, if you are here is listening to this, you do believe you are spirit. And this is just a temporal, biochemical suit that you are wearing called your body. So Jyotish is full marks on all of them. Western astrology is very limited in terms of giving you karmic depth. It gives only generic transits. It gives you few, if any, meditations. And it offers very little in the form of self-growth. The tarot cards, in terms of karmic depth, is just symbolic because everything is based on archetypes. It's a limited form of understanding, nothing else. Timing and precision, it gives nothing. It is reflective only in prescriptive action. It doesn't tell you precisely what to do. It gives just a card and tells this is what you should be intuitively deriving as. The spiritual aim, what you are here to do, is intuitive only. The I Ching doesn't give you any precise timing. It is only philosophical in its prescriptive action. And it's based only on Tao, the Chinese system, which is basically something like Pisces. I have dealt with this bridge between Vedic astrology in another playlist if you want to go through it. It's in the memberships area. I can tie Vedic astrology into all of these systems, but Vedic astrology cannot take all of these systems into themselves. I can't tell I Ching in the form of Jyotish. It's impossible because Jyotish is far more encompassing. Numerology gives nothing in terms of your karma, gives just fixed numbers in terms of your timing. In terms of prescriptive action, there is no color or gem or astrological or Vastu related advice. And spiritual aim is missing, if not rare. The human design system it doesn't give any form of prediction, it just gives descriptive form. In terms of karma, it just gives you a broad archetypal life roles. In terms of timing and precision, it is just static. It doesn't give you any evolvement. There is no fundamental precept of evolution there. Its prescriptive action, it is strategy focused rather than direction. It doesn't give any remedies. See the contrast between what Jyotish provides and what human design provides. In terms of spiritual aim, there is only role clarity and there is no direction of moksha, liberation, what we call liberation. So why we call Jyotish a living science? And we shall end with this. Jyotish is a living science because it evolves as you evolve. You will come to the science of Jyotish or this particular channel, or you will give a serious listening ear to whatever I am blathering right now. When you are evolved enough, you have to grow according to the creation around you. So Jyotish itself evolves, that is your understanding of Vedic astrology evolves as you evolve. Understand that very carefully. Your inner maturity dictates how much of this you absorb. It engages with living time. Dashas change your karmic lens every few years. In fact, every few months. We shall deal with this in Mahadasha course, which is already there if you want to glance through it. It speaks in real-time dialogue with divine intelligence, not just a chance or statistical logic. It is not deterministic, it is dynamic, giving you tools to rise above your own karma, not get embroiled into it. People get embroiled and entangled with karma, thinking they are in a trap or some kind of a prison of their own making. It is not. This is just a wrong concept. It has nothing to do with the absolute energy that your soul is. Your soul has come here to do multiple things. Remember, all of you have a chart. Each one of the charts has got 9 planets, all 27 nakshatras and all 12 zodiac signs. Right? It's just that the way it is playing out is unique to you and your soul signature. That's what you're here to decode. And it keeps changing all the time. That's why it engages with living time. Right? I shall leave you with this and I shall give you introduction chapter 3 next. Take care. Be safe.